If I had my way, everything would be so nice. This world would be like Paris. No, it would be a paradise. No one would ever have to say, I'm gonna get my wish someday. All one would have to do is say, this is my order, if you may.
Welcome to another episode of The School Without Walls. I'm Antonio Hobbs, host and founder of this educational program. I'd like to remind the public that this program is an initiative of a 501c3 corporation that I've founded called the Human Elevation Love Project. The acronym is HELP. It has been my passion most of my life to want to help somebody as I travel along this way. And that is the purpose of writing this and also the purpose of this educational program. The School Without Walls. HELP Inc. is a nonprofit 501c3 corporation. It is a charitable and educational organization which uses a variety of tools and techniques to reach the African American community. The acronym again is HELP Inc. Currently, we have two programs which embody the vision of myself, the founder. One is the School Without Walls, which we are experiencing as I speak. The other one is called the Arkansas Delta Historical Research Project. And we're going to talk about the Arkansas Delta Research Project as we proceed. My guest is Mrs. Camielle Adams. She's been here before. You might have seen her. You might remember that beautiful afro that she wears. I was attracted to her because of that. And if you recall our other program, I discussed how many of us felt about those African American women who purchase somebody else's hair, and we believe it's designed to make them feel more beautifully. And of course, also was brought up that the European American woman also wears wigs, but from my observation, they wear wigs that you can't tell they're wigs because it's their hair. They don't go buy somebody else's hair. Again, what in the world caused you to move from the processed hair to your natural hair?
Like I mentioned before, it was a personal spiritual journey that I'm still enduring now. It was more of, I think it was about time for me to fall in love with who I am personally. So with the hair journey, that's just the tip of the iceberg of my spiritual journey that I'm going through. So. It first occurred with that letting go of everything that was not me. So, of course, the permed hair had to go, which I have nothing personal against that, you know, with
those who choose to do
who choose to do that, because everybody have their own personal choice.
And have their own journey, too.
Their own journey. So, my journey, it told me to do that. You know, it was like a personal instinct for me to do that. And so, once I did it, it opened up doors to who I really am as a woman, a black woman, a mother, a wife, and so many different avenues. So this is just the tip of the iceberg for me. So.
Did it actually make you feel better about yourself?
Yeah, I mean, when I first did it, I looked in the mirror and I cried. You know,
did?
Only because I thought I looked horrible. I thought I looked crazy or, you know, stupid. But that only lasted for a few minutes because I looked up again and it was, I had, like I said, I had a patch missing right here and stuff going right there. But
as it grew out.
Well, I mean, it took a long time for it to grow out because I got it shaved off bald. I was completely bald, you know, after I cut it off.
I believe if you shaved it off bald, I'm going to use a statement phrase that my cousin always would say. And he would say, you looked ugly. Ugly. With the bald head, shaved head. But when the hair came back, that was a different appearance altogether.
Well, honestly, it was almost like a transformation for me because I went to work with, you know, my hair looking like that. So I had to endure a different variety of emotions going through it, dealing with people looking at me, you know, staring. I never dealt with that before.
Did they ask you why you had done
Yeah, because many people thought I went through a midlife crisis, you know, when I did it. They thought I was delusional or on some kind of drug or something. But that right there in itself taught me strength, you know, because I didn't want to go back, so.
I see.
Yeah.
That is excellent. In the last program, you taught me something. You said that, I raised the question, why is it that more African American women don't wear their hair in the natural state. And I hadn't thought about what you said. You said many of their men do not admire it in the natural state. I hadn't realized that.
Because many women secretly we want to let go of. Some women secretly want to let go of the whole makeup, you know, false precision. But if we have a man that's he's still rooted in the false reality, you know, of how a woman's supposed to look. You know, it's gonna be, especially if she loves him. You know, she wants to cater to him. She want to make him happy. But on my journey, I didn't have that kind of negative feedback from my husband. No.
That is amazing. I hadn't looked at it that way. We're going to close this one out in just a second, but I always thought it was the woman having the problem, but it was the male, the African American male, who was seeing beauty through the European perspective.
It's both, really.
Let us stop on that note. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
Okay.
How did UAPB prepare me? The agriculture program. At the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, it is very hands-on. They teach us how to use the technology and the tools of today's industry. Career Services helped me obtain 2 internships, and that provided me the opportunities to travel to different places like the Florida Everglades, where I practice conservation work. Opportunities like that also taught me just how many different jobs I can do with my degree. I'll be working with the USDA as a soil conservationist. That is how UAPB prepared me.
Those of you who have just joined us, I'm Antonio Hobbs, host and founder of this educational program called The School Without Walls, and my guest is Mrs. Camielle
Adams.
Camielle Adams, wonderful person, beautiful person, physically as well as internally. She's a writer. So let's start this segment with your latest, with the writing of yours.
Okay.
All right, just read that, please.
This is called In Awe of You. You constantly surprise me at how you work your magic amongst your creations. How you constantly show me how I am wonderfully made in your image. That nothing past, present, or future can compare to the mighty spirit that I continue to evolve into. Thank you for the souls who have chose the path to console me, prepare me, and watch over me. Thank you for my emotions, my tears, my sorrow, my happiness, my joy, my confusion, because they are all a part of me, which I embrace. I've learned that I can't fit myself into someone else's view of humanity and spirituality. I can listen, I can watch, I can understand, but I have the power to pick and choose what agrees with my spirit. I will always be loved, I will always choose happiness, and I am peace. That's all my essence knows to be. Even on my darkest days, even with my darkest thoughts, even with my most harshest tongue, you still surface to find me. I can't run from you, I can't hide from you. You have always been with me. I have seen your healing. You resurrect, evolve so many people. I have seen you answer the prayers of the grief-stricken. I have seen you cast your judgment on the wicked. Your presence is dominating in my dreams, and your presence is a bright light illuminating the way right before me. I'm in awe of you, my great spirit, my great God. And matter of fact, it seems like you're more in awe of me.
That is excellent, excelente, as you say in Spanish, excellent. That's very profound. Now, what moved you to pen such words? Do you have any, give me the background to what brought you to that.
Okay, and awe of me is, I was going through a depression state, which a lot of us don't want to admit to sometimes. And And I've tried everything in my power to, in the past to numb that in certain ways. But this right here, I got the pencil and I started writing. And as soon as I started writing, a peace came over me to the point that these are my raw emotions. Can't nobody tell me how to put this down. Can't nobody tell me how to portray it. This is me. And once I started doing that, I started finding more courage in myself to be authentic with how I'm feeling, with my happy days, with my sad days, with sometimes I don't speak well, and sometimes I'm more introvert. So this is where in all of me came from, because God has always been with me through all my obstacles, whether whether people believe in God or not. The God that I know has always protected me and provided for me. So.
That is excellent. It reminds me of some psychology that I've studied or learned, that when you have problems, this is to the public, you write. That is one way of dealing with that, and you knew that instinctively.
Well,
Nobody
trial and error,
yeah, nobody told you that, right? You just felt to do it.
Yeah.
And again, it goes back to that God spirit that you mentioned that evidently is with you.
Yeah.
Because that was soothing and comforting to you.
To myself.
Excellent. I encourage the public who is here seeing this to call her. Would you mind giving them your phone number?
Okay.
Give it to that.
870-510-2011.
2011. And invite her to various programs. We have something called the Spoken Word. I'm going to invite you to come to the university whenever they have the next one. And this is very good information. And of course, we are shown wherever there's an internet throughout the world. I thought about Shakespeare also when you was doing that. He wrote something said, "To thine own self be true, and that should follow as the night follows the day. Therefore you'll find yourself false to no man." That was one thing that came to me. Just know who you are and be that, and be content with that. Okay, I'm going to recite one of my writings too. I have 2 minutes to do this. Once I was thinking, and I said, the word goodbye doesn't fit me because goodbye is permanent. So I said, never say goodbye to me. Would you like to know the reason why? Because when friends are leaving forever, they say goodbye. That will happen between us never until the day I die. I'll think of you in the summer. I'll think of you in the fall. I'll think of you every season because you are my all in all. So never say goodbye to me. I'll think of you even if I'm in prison. So naturally, I'll think of you being free. So never say goodbye to me. That was one that I wrote. Did it strike any chord in you?
No, it shows how you're in touch with your emotions and your true feelings, you know.
Right.
I mean, because many people put a stigma on a poetry supposed to rhyme, poetry supposed to be like this, but poetry is your own emotions,
right?
In written
your
form.
own emotion in written or spoken form.
Yeah.
Let us stop on that note, and we'll be back, I believe, for the third segment. Is that right? Third segment in just a few minutes. You have, how many did you bring? You bring two writings?
I have 2 more.
You got 2 more. So we'll have time to hear those.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Danny Andre Burrell II, a senior here majoring in industrial technology, management, and applied engineering. I thought that I would be looking for a job at this point, but thanks to my mentor, Dr. Charles Colin at Career Services, I was able to obtain a position as an industrial engineer upon graduation.
Danny worked hard in class from the beginning, obtaining 3 internships while on campus. UAPB can help prepare students like Danny for those same opportunities.
UAPB prepared me.
Those of you who just joined us, I'm Antonio Hobbs, host and founder of this educational program called The School Without Walls. My guest is Mrs. Camielle Adams, a writer. She's a writer. All right, you said you had 2 more?
Yes.
Let's hear one right
Okay.
off, okay?
This one has no title. It was just raw. You know,
Okay.
I actually wrote this yesterday. So here I go. I feel that I am at a time in my life that no soul should have to see. The inner confusion, the turmoil, the crossroads. Hold up. Don't judge me. I'm just being me. You see, I don't know which is the right road, the perfect path, the perfect speech, from which the masses of media, parents, the preacher have told me to believe. You see, I followed every last one of them to the T. I humbled myself and followed. Shoot, all I feel now is empty. The moment I speak against the gem of knowledge that I've embraced so openly, I am labeled unstable, crazy, delusional, all because I see things differently. I've been called a sinner repeatedly, not because I told them I didn't believe in God. It's because I disagreed with how they saw things mentally. I follow wholeheartedly, so happy and joyful to receive these things. Now reality has set in. Not one person in this world I feel understands me. So this journey must continue. I must continue to learn and grow. One day this will all make sense. What day? I surely don't know.
Excelente, otra vez. That's a very good. Another again. Okay. Any commentary coming from that? You said that it has no title. What happened that it doesn't have a title?
Well, I recently went through an adjustment with myself as a woman spiritually. So this came, I wasn't sad or anything. It was just, I feel like I've always been there for everything, you know, especially growing up in churches, growing up in different ways, and I've always humbled myself to receive information. But as time grows, you know, you graduate. You know, you graduate from different forms of thinking and internalize another way. So now that I'm thinking differently, you know, I feel like I'm being shunned against or cast down. You know, all because I question now. I want to know, why are you teaching me this? Why are you telling me this? And instead of having an open heart like I've given to them, their heart is closed to the point where no one wants to talk about that. So I'm called this and this and this. You know, I'm just a 32-year-old woman, you know, finding my way. And I feel like other people are not as open as I am. So that's where that came from.
That is wonderful, wonderful. You reminded me of a philosophy that is actually true. You know, let me share this with you and the congregation. So often we confuse facts with truth. You know, in academia, a fact is something that a person proves according to a formula that was established by a person, which could be fiction on tomorrow. But truth is that reality that exists whether a person knows it or not. Therefore, we seek truth because it already exists. And the spirituality of yourself is a part of this truth that I can see that's emanating from you in poetry. That's excellent, the spiritual part. What is your religious denomination?
I don't have one.
You do not?
No, I don't have one.
That is amazing too. You also reminded me of something else in this piece. I believe you said something about asking why. I almost said it in Spanish. It's very important to ask why, because and it's contrary to the normal teaching of this Western culture. They like for you to receive what is said
and take it
without
as
question.
and never question.
Even in many Bible classrooms, although we're encouraging students to try to ask questions. And if you do that, that's an indicator that you're a thinker. And we have 8 students that cannot think because our school system is not designed to teach thinkers. It's designed to teach people to conform to somebody else's thought. So you're blessed with that gift. So keep it alive. Okay?
Thank you.
How much more time do we have in this segment? We have only 2 minutes, so that's going to give me a chance to. I have a short one that I wrote that I just thought of. To build a house, one should have a plan. The unwise man purchases first his lumber, but the wise man purchases first the land. What does that say to you? Do you remember? To build a house, one should have a plan. That indicates that whatever you're going to do, you need to plan it out, right?
Yeah.
To build a house, one should have a plan. An unwise person go and get the wrong items together. He go purchase the lumber, but he has no place to put it. But the wise man purchased the land.
Eventually, they will teach him some wisdom too to try it a different way. Next time. So everything has its wisdom in it.
Definitely. Let us in on that point, which should be at the ending of the. We are concluding with the second segment. I think we have about one. Do we have 3 minutes, Randy? Are we in the third segment? Where are we? We're in the second segment, right? We're in the third? How much more time do you have? 1 minute? Get busy with that second writing. You gotta be joking. We're in the third segment. My, go on and read it kind of fast. Third segment.
I have learned so much over the past few months. I've embraced the art of letting go and letting go of people and what my fantasy of them should be. I have saw the benefit of speaking in my mind, but rarely have I seen the benefit of letting people be themselves and just sit back and watch and stop speaking so much. My heart has its full limit right now. I can say I'm tired. I believe I focused my attention on people and their weaknesses, what they say, and my urge to be right. I just want to live now, letting go of the need to be right. Embracing my own journey, learning that I can't expect no one to agree with how I see or feel things. I'm emotional, I'm strong, I'm fierce. I'm also vulnerable, open-hearted, selfish, intuitive, and I'll always be spirit. I feel lonely and scared, confused, violated, behind, ahead of my time, scarred, scorned, and depressed. Is it wrong to feel these emotions? They are so much a part of me. Should I deny one to look at only the positive? Should I be happy all the time? Should I lock the gate to my raw emotions, knowing that in due time, what has been locked away will surface again? I learned this from experience. Out of my heart flows the issues of life, and what I need now is healing, direction, and also to know that my raw emotions are not always wrong. So I ask this to God. The Spirit who I've always known has been there with me. Help me to find my way. Help me to become more whole. I have put too much energy in others, wanting them to see, feel, and experience how I feel. I know people are going to do as they choose. How do I get over what I feel? And how do I let go of someone who I feel owes me?
That's in?
Yes.
Thank you so much. We're going to end. We're getting ready to end on that note.
Okay.
We're so glad to have you.
Okay.
I'd like to invite you to St. John African Methodist Episcopal Church. Is located on Cherry and Pullum Street. Sunday. Would you come?
I have plans for Sunday.
You do?
Yeah.
Well, the next Sunday? When you
I
don't
will
have
try.
plans?
I don't make promises, but I will try.
And bring your husband, since you said you're not connected with any particular denomination. We have a dynamic pastor. His name is Reverend Alvin Smith. He's an outstanding personality. I'd like you to experience him. Okay, thank you again.
Thank you, Dr.
Okay, all right.